The Pacers got off to a good start in this one, led by 15 at halftime, but the Kings came all the way back, took a 4-point lead late, but thanks in large part to big three type of play from Pascal Siakam, Bennedict Mathurin, and Andrew Nembhard. The leaders offensively for the Pacers made sure this would be a blue and gold victory. 116-105, your final score. Pacers over the Kings. You are watching the Andy Moore Automotive Pacers live post-game show. Great offensive execution down the stretch. Not bad defense as well. I mentioned that 101-97 Kings lead. Sacramento had just 4 points the rest of the way. I'm Jeremiah Johnson. Eddie Gill is with me for the next 30 minutes or so as we recap what we saw and get some post-game reactions as well. Eddie, were you nervous? What'd you think there when the Kings took that 4-point lead and Russell Westbrook was looking like he was playing with the Thunder back in the day?
There's no question about it. He was having a throwback moment, and the Pacers offense really, in large part, in 18 minutes of that second half, their offense was on life support after being cooking and really just clicking on all cylinders in that first half. But then next thing you know, Andrew Nembhard, he comes alive once again in that latter part of the fourth quarter. They scored maybe 19 points or so in the last 5 minutes of the game to be able to take control of this game, ice it, and also the defensive stops clearly helped.
An 11-0 Pacers run after they trailed by 4. 8 of those points from Andrew Nembhard, and you're never hesitant to let him shoot a big shot in a crucial situation. We've seen that over his career, but he really had it going an all-around game from start to finish.
That's a great point. He erupts in the last 5 minutes of the game to ice it for the Pacers from a scoring perspective, but throughout the game, he had a very solid floor game, as you would call it, throughout it. He did a terrific job of being able to score it. Assist, you see there, you like the efficiency there. He checks out in the third quarter with a double-double. He had 16 and 11 when he checked out of the game. And again, when he came back in that fourth, he really got it going with that three ball, was able to knock down three straight threes.
And I don't know if he was guarding Russell Westbrook for much of the game, but he did late when Westbrook was taking over.
Well, yeah, you think about what Zach LaVine did in that first half. That was Andrew Nembhard's assignment. He slowed him down. You saw what he did to Josh Giddey a few nights ago, and he holds Zach LaVine to 8 points in that first half. Now he gets it going a little bit in the third quarter, but really slowed him down.
16, yeah, so you like that defensive effort all the way around. After the game, our own Pat Boylan caught up with Bennedict Mathurin. It was good to hear from Bennedict Mathurin, talking with Pat Boylan, also talking to the crowd as well. So many things I wanted to break out and talk about from the final 4 minutes. But how about those Ethan Thompson second chance opportunities he created? He has a nose for the ball.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I mean, a lot of talked about what he did in the previous game, and for good reason. He's able to knock down 3 threes. He has 11 points, and he did some other small things as well. But those are winning basketball plays. Obviously, Andrew Nembhard and the shot making of he and Bennedict Mathurin clearly impactful. But he comes up with a few offensive rebounds, big defensive stop, but big defensive tap out. I'm not sure if he was credited for that rebound on the defensive end of the floor, but being able to do those small things, and when your number is called and you have an opportunity to knock down your shot, he's able to do that as well.
1 week ago, he scored his first NBA points. Tonight, he's in the closing stretch in a clutch time game, a clutch time Pacers win over the Kings. Some of the sights of the season downtown Indianapolis, Pacers over the Kings, 116-105, and nice to go into this. I call it NBA Cup break because there are only 2 games now over the next 9 days, but to go into that with an opportunity to rest, recuperate, and also go into that little stretch with 2 wins, how do you feel like the confidence is of the team right now?
It's got to be good. And the Pacers over the last couple of seasons, when they get these long stretches of rest intermittently during the course of a season, although they're rare, they've been able to come out and play well after those 3-4 day breaks in the season. I anticipate the same type of thing. Rick Carlisle does a great job of being able to manage what the practice schedule may be, but great time to decompress mentally and physically.
Let's take a look at the highlights from this one. Pacers' first of 2 meetings this regular season against the Sacramento Kings. We show you first quarter action. Sacramento had a little bit of an early lead, but Ethan Thompson shooting in that first quarter like he did in that first half in Chicago. And there was Pascal Siakam driving, dishing. Garrison Matthews off the bench had 7 in the first half. And again, this game was tied at 17. Pacers had a 6-point possession and really had control the whole first half.
Well, you think, they're exchanging baskets, the first 6 minutes, they call a timeout. They come out and really do a great job in clamping down defensively. and getting whatever they wanted offensively in that first half.
66-51, Siakam on the fast break. Pacers up 15 at halftime and looking to run away and hide, up 19 in the third quarter. This is another fast break opportunity. It's Nembhard with the layup. But then what happened? Those Kings stars woke up, and they certainly made this a game.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook, first and foremost, he was able to get things going. They almost exclusively start playing through him throughout that third quarter in particular, where the Kings put 37 points on the board. The Pacers struggling to find opportunities to score.
So Pacers down 4, and then you saw those two players we've been mentioning, Bennedict Mathurin and Andrew Nembhard. It was Mathurin there. It's Nembhard. That looks like the kind of catch and shoot opportunity late in a close game we've seen so many times in his career.
Exactly. You saw the clock winding down. There's a big shot there. And Ethan Thompson, he is playing basketball at a really high level right now. Just high IQ. And while they're resting, he's working. I say this typically about TJ McConnell making those types of plays, but Ethan Thompson did a terrific job. And Pascal Siakam here, he just attacks Levine, able to get 2.
Yeah, I think Pascal owes Ethan Thompson a beverage or two because he missed 2 threes, same possession. Then he's able to convert. Ethan Thompson basically prevented any opportunity the Kings would have at a comeback on that possession. Indiana Members Credit Union with the final stats. Now the Kings did sort of catch fire a little bit offensively. That field goal percentage was 41% at halftime. I think they shot 64% in the third quarter. So this isn't one of those games where you're going to just be like, well, that was a perfect performance. Still a lot to learn from and to build on from a win.
Yeah, there's no question about it, and that's what you do from a team, regardless of the level of team, or good, bad, or indifferent. You want to be able to learn something from the losses and certainly learn something from the wins. In the third quarter will be something that the coaching staff will certainly share some different conversations with their players. But great job of showing that resiliency that we've grown accustomed to seeing here in this team, and someone they lean on to make big plays or big shots. That was Andrew Nembhard here tonight, but collectively did a lot of things late in the game to win it.
We've seen a lot of clutch time opportunities, and specifically Siakam, Mathurin, Nembhard. They have so much experience playing together in crucial moments, but they haven't played a lot of games with a closing 5 with Jay Huff and
Ethan Thompson.
Yeah. Exactly.
For sure. But
so how much can they learn from this experience when they're sharing the court with those guys?
I mean, it's a great experience for all, and everyone's trying to figure it out to some degree of who was doing what. The battle, the injury issues early on. Now you're starting to get guys available. Bennedict Mathurin was terrific here tonight, especially in that first half. I believe he ended the half with maybe at least 19 points at halftime, but did some other things in the second half to be effective. But overall, a solid game, and again, 50% from the field.
Bennedict Mathurin, play your game with FanDuel. He goes over his over-under. Big night for Mathurin. Big win for the blue and gold tonight. Looking forward to that. Enjoyed watching the Pacers force 19 turnovers in this game. The Master Jewelers defensive gem. None other than Andrew Nembhard.
Listen, this is just scrappy defense. He gets the deflection, but the extra effort, though, diving out of bounds there, recognizing where his teammates are. You typically don't advise this, but when you know where they are, you go for it. And great advance of the basketball here by Garrett Matthews. Pascal Siakam gets an easy 2 to force a timeout there by the Kings in the first half.
Right. Don't necessarily try that at home, saving it under your own basket, but that was a educated save to Garrison Matthews, who then finds Pascal Siakam for the bucket. And those are the kind of plays that get the crowd into the game and help the Pacers build that 19-point advantage. Let's talk team defense, because that was our big topic at halftime when the Kings were sitting there with just 51 points and 41% field goal shooting. They didn't score that many more than 51 in the second half, but they did kind of catch fire just a little bit offensively. Still overall defense you like?
Yeah, I did. I mean, the third quarter is the one that's the point to and have the most corrections to be made. And quite honestly, they'll have some corrections to be made offensively that led to poor defensive possessions in that third quarter. But in that first half in particular, did a terrific job of putting the Kings in the crowd. You see the extra effort there. The block shots, they speak for themselves. Huff has 4. Jackson has 2. They don't have Jarris Walker down here for 1, but he did have 1 in that first half. So they're able to protect the rim at a really high level, but ultimately the extra effort plays is where you win the game.
You mentioned Jarris Walker. I feel like it's fair to say it's been an up and down season up to this point for Jarris Walker. Coming off the bench in this game, confidently knocking down some shots and getting into double figures, his minutes were valuable.
Yeah, you like the fact that he's staying composed in these moments here. You know, in and out of the lineup, whether it's starting, coming off the bench. You have a guy like Ethan Thompson comes in, plays well. He's rewarded with a starting opportunity. He doesn't hang his head. He comes in there and he does his job and is productive here tonight.
All right, much more still to come as we are awaiting post-game reactions from this one as Pacers beat the Kings. A furious finish at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Pascal Siakam tells the Kings, not tonight. With a shot outside St. Elmo's Steakhouse. Pacers with a 116-105 win over the Kings. Hey, Pacers fans, if you ever miss back one final time inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Jeremiah Johnson alongside Eddie Gill. How are you going to spend your 2 days off?
Well, I'm going to probably just hang out and enjoy some downtime and decompress from basketball. Well, not completely. I'm watching it every night.
You were watching football all weekend, right?
Well, that too, yeah, for sure.
We talked about Bennedict Mathurin and Andrew Nembhard. The third member of the Big Three is someone we've probably spent, I would say, 90% of the Pacers Live post-game shows discussing. It's Pascal Siakam. Is it fair to say a quiet 23?
I mean, to some degree, when you see Andrew Nembhard erupt the way he did in the last 5 minutes of the game, but it was a consistent 23 for sure, and that's what you get out of Pascal Siakam is his consistency, his efficiency, his reliability, and it's just a terrific job. And even in the last minute or two, they started calling Pascal Siakam's number to make sure they put this one away.
Pascal Siakam, and I thought in the first half as well, the Kings, Domantas Sabonis isn't a strong rim protector, but they had no one inside, and he saw those opportunities to attack the basket.
Listen, it was a parade all night long for the Pacers going to the paint, except for that third quarter where I thought on both ends of the floor they struggled a little bit. But outside of that, they just did a terrific job of getting 2 feet in the paint, making things happen for them.
So Ethan Thompson, you have that big breakthrough game on Friday. You get the starting assignment tonight against the Sacramento Kings. Maybe would there be as many nerves there than on Friday because maybe he played like he had nothing to lose, and now he probably knew for a day and a half he's going to be starting his first game tonight.
Well, it's the calm that I'm so impressed with. He's not forcing any issues there. He's going to go out and work his tail off. And these plays here, you know, the game is still in the balance. Even though Nembhard erupted the way he did, he was able to come up with extra possessions and those extra opportunities for the Pacers, and they've resulted in points. And also being able to recognize time to score. He had a play where J-Huff threw it to him from the top of the key on the baseline. Some players would have gone and attempted a shot there, but he recognized time, scoring situation, brought it back out. The Pacers ended up coming out with no points in that particular possession, but they still were able to burn another 15 seconds on the clock.
We heard Pat Boylan on the court talking with Bennedict Mathurin. He is now inside the locker room with Jarris Walker. Rick Carlisle talking there about Jarris Walker, also heaping praise on the big three. The big three for the Pacers tonight got the job done. Andrew Nembhard was spectacular. 28 points, 12 rebounds, 25 for Mathurin, 23 for Pascal Siakam. And the Pacers have won 2 consecutive games. Tonight, Rick Carlisle's 999th career win. He'll go for 1,000 on Friday night in Philadelphia. Enjoy your work week. We'll see you from Philadelphia on Friday night. Pacers and Sixers pregame coverage at 6:30. Thank you for watching